We're going to show how to concasse a tomato. Concasse is a technique that will help us remove the skin and the inner seeds of your tomato. It looks more presentable, and some people don't like to feel the skin of the tomato. What we do is, on a 45-degree angle, we're going to remove the upper part of the tomato that is attached to the stem of the plant. You don't want to go too deep because you don't want any water to penetrate the tomato. On the bottom, we're going to make a very slight edge cut. This is going to allow some of the water to penetrate a little bit easier under the skin. Now we're going to place the tomato in simmering water, and then for about 20 seconds. Then we're going to submerge it in ice cold water. That technique is called shocking. So basically, I don't want to cook the tomato. I just want to literally bruise the outside skin so it's going to be easier to peel. I'm going to submerge it now in simmering water. We proceed to drop your tomato in simmering water. I don't like boiling water. It might bruise your tomato. We're going to let it simmer, sit in there for about 20 seconds. If your tomato is really unripe, you might want to go a little bit longer, but 20 seconds is going to be more than enough to be able to remove the skin. After it sits there for 20 seconds, immediately drop it in cold water. This technique is called shocking. It applies to most vegetables. That way it keeps color. In this case, it will stop the cooking process. 10 to 15 seconds in your cold water will be completely sufficient to be able to move ahead and concasse our tomato. Tomato has been properly blanched and shocked. I usually start from the bottom and pull back on your skin. The skin should come off fairly easily, as you can see. Just work it with your paring knife. Like I mentioned before, if your tomato is underripe, you might need a couple of more seconds in your blanching water. If you see that the tomatoes you're concasseing, the skin is coming off way too easily and it's becoming mushy, that means you have to blanch them for less seconds. So we have removed the skin of our tomatoes, and now we proceed to remove the inside seeds. Now be careful, don't cut the tomato this way, you won't be able to open all your cells. If you cut the tomato across on the top, I'll show you in a moment what's going to happen. Cut your tomato, if you cut it across the top, you won't be able to open all the cells of the tomato. You're only going to be able to remove the seeds from here, but not from the back. It's an unsuccessful cut. You want to cut it through the center of the tomato. As you do that, you're going to expose all the cells of the tomato. You're going to be able to remove the seeds. If your skin is sensitive to acid, wear gloves to this operation. If you're going to serve the tomatoes raw as is, please wear gloves. That way it avoids cross-contamination. The technique is very simple. I hold my tomato and I gently squeeze. It's not going to break, but that's going to help me to remove most of the seeds from the tomato. You can then use your paring knife to reach inside, but my opinion is God's best tools, your fingers. I'm going to work the best to remove all those seeds from inside of the tomato. Once your seeds are removed, now we proceed to dice your tomato for a true concasse. You want to bring your tomato to the edge of the table, because I want to be able to give it a cut horizontally. If you put your knife here in the center of the table and you try to give the cut to the tomato, you will create this weird angle and it will transfer to your tomato. Bring your tomato to the edge of the board that you will be able to do. Your knuckles will be here, what I call in the air, and you'll be able to do a flat cut to your tomato. First cut, all the way through, protect your fingers all the time. Second cut. At this point, I want to do like a medium diced tomato. Make sure your knife is sharp so it won't damage your tomato. Don't attempt to cut down, because you might put a lot of pressure on the tomato. Always when you slice, slide your knife through the object. I'm going to pick up the tomato from the bottom, rotate it 90 degrees, and at this point, slide again, hold your tomato. I usually hold it just like the onion. I hold it on the sides with my toe, with my thumb and my pinky. Hold your tomato together, and you'll be able to get a nice slice on the tomato. This is your tomato concasse. If there is a couple of seeds, just make sure you take them out. And this is like a nice dyed tomato concasse will look after it's done.